Josh Green here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Kieran MacDonald here, just a few months away from the Olympics. How are you doing, Kieran?
I'm doing great, I'm in a good position, it's fresh year. Olympic year is a massive year for us. And I just feel like I just can't wait to get going now.
Does the mindset change with it being an Olympic year? There's so much focus towards that throughout the 4 years or however many years you're in this environment. Does it feel a little bit different?
Yeah, I mean, it's the pressure sort of grows a little bit, I would say. Everyone sort of can feel it getting closer and closer, so everyone sort of ramp the training up a little bit and gives that extra 1%. But like you say, it's the same thing as every year. You want the best results you can. But like looking at an Olympic year, this is what you work for your years on the programme, and it's sort of the pinnacle of the amateur game.
Must help having the team you've got behind you and the athletes you've got around you, just to give you that extra 1 or 2% that you need to edge over the line and get to the pinnacle of the sport, as you say.
Well, that's it. I mean, we've got the best support staff in the world, best coaches. Everyone sort of looks after you. Everyone's got your best interest at heart, so it's just up to you to go and do the talking in the ring. They'll get you in the best physical shape possible, keep you injury free, and then it's up to you to perform on the day.
I had the pleasure of speaking to you around a year ago now. I think it was just before the European Championships. It's been a building year for you since then. You've achieved a lot. There's been a couple of disappointments maybe as well. What's it been like the last year for yourself?
To be honest, it's been an absolute roller coaster. From obviously starting the year off great, getting to the qualifier, winning my first couple of bouts in the qualifier, and then getting to the qualifying bout and dropping a close decision, against a world level fighter. And it sort of just spurred us on, because I know where I'm at. The top 6 level in the world fighters obviously pipped us when it mattered in the dying sort of death moment, but I've got to just try and use that as motivation to get qualified in this up and coming qualifying event and push on to the games and fulfil my dream.
At the time when you came out of the ring, how much did that decision sting and how long did it take to get over?
That was heartbreaking, honestly, because I was so close. It was it literally hit us hard, to be honest. I needed a good little bit time off, a couple of holidays, and to be honest, it still hurts now because I was so close, and obviously every weight category had different qualifying places. So some of the team achieved the same result as me and qualified, which is it's a bittersweet because obviously I was over the moon for them, but I was devastated for myself at the same time. So it was sort of a bittersweet. But that's just the way it is. Obviously every weight category's got different qualifying requirements, so I've just got to brush myself off and go again because I know that's where I belong at that level.
But giving you that extra motivation in the months that follow to get back there, and obviously we've got 2 big important qualifiers coming up in the next few months.
Oh, that's it. I know where I'm at now, and I'm looking at it as a blessing in disguise, really, because it's kept my foot on the gas a little bit, where I think if I qualified in the summer I would have maybe took my foot off the gas a little bit. So I've kept improving and keep learning, and I feel like this is like my time to come now. Like you say, 2 qualifying events, they're vital to get qualified and get to the games, and then obviously see what the future holds.
What have you learnt in that time between losing that qualifying bout and now that makes you think you're going to clinch that qualifying at the second or maybe the third attempt?
Yeah, I mean, it's just brushing up on little things and polishing up what you're good at. But the main thing is sort of been learning resilience and being resilient in what's coming, because you can't sort of control what's happening outside the ring. You've got to just focus on what's going on inside the ring at that time, because one switch off it in a fight and that's it. You've lost the round. Obviously, you've only got 3 rounds in amateur boxing, so every round's vital. I feel like resilience is the main thing though for me, and being able to dust yourself off and come back. And I'm just excited to get going again this year.
I think last time when I spoke to you, we spoke about some of the talent up in the northeast. There's a heap of talent coming out of Newcastle and Sunderland and the surrounding areas, of course, as well. When you look at what they're achieving and what they have achieved in Team GB as well, that must be a big motivation and a big sort of light for you to look at.
Oh, it's massive. I mean, the northeast is growing. It's always been booming. It's just now getting the eyes on it that it needs. And like you say, it's been right through. Obviously, looking all the way back to like Tony Jeffries in 2008, like that's where it started, and obviously it's just grown from then. And I just want to be the next one on the list. like there's a couple of us on the squad now from the North East, but I want to be the next one on the list and get the Olympic Games and then push on to these big shows in the North East.
Yeah, you mentioned the big shows in the North East. There's plenty being put on at the arena in Newcastle and a couple of other venues. I think the Stadium of Light, the arena next door held a Josh Kelly fight. There's plenty of opportunities there to be taken, and if you build yourself as you are building yourself, they're all there, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. Well, that's where I believe I belong. I belong on the big shows and under the lights performing, because I've done this for years now. This is sort of like being a long apprenticeship for me, and I'm looking forward to just fulfilling my dream, getting the Olympic Games and then pushing on to, like you say, these big shows and showcasing my talent live to the world.
Obviously the Olympics is very much the first goal, but how often do you wonder and think about what could be achieved in the pro ranks? I think that's lots of boxers' dream, to be selling out these arenas and have thousands of people behind them chanting their name.
Oh, to be honest, it's something that comes across every week. Every time you watch a boxing event on the telly, you just think, I can't wait till that's me and that's my turn. But you've got to stay in your lane and focus on what you've got to do first, and then when the time's right, it'll come.
In terms of your sparring, obviously you have plenty of action here. Is there anybody else you've sparred outside of GB or maybe in here? I know Galal's obviously in the camp.
I tend to keep my sparring in house really, because obviously we're here all week. You sort of get your rounds, and like you say with the Yafais and things before they have the pro fights, we'll get the good rounds in there. And there's lots of talent on the squad. Even looking back on the academy, there's some young kids coming through who's talented that get some good rounds. You know, it's all about that experience. So I keep all my sparring in house really, and then, like you say, obviously when the time comes to turn professional, then obviously you look elsewhere for your sparring. But at the moment, I just keep it to what I do, and because obviously the tempo is different as an amateur to a professional. But like I would enjoy sparring the pros and learning a few things, and it's just one of them things. You just take the opportunities when they come.
Galal's someone who's achieved a lot in the amateur game and is now a more than a prospect. He's right up at that world level already. Many would say. How much can you learn from sparring someone of that pedigree?
Oh, it's massive. I mean, it's no surprise really. I feel like if you've been at a high level as an amateur on this system, you can sort of jump a little bit in the pros. You don't need all them 4-rounders and things to build up. You can sort of jump in a bit higher. But like I say, it's no surprise. He's always worked really hard, and he is a great talented fighter. And the things I learn is probably over the last 4 or 5 years with Galal, I've learned a lot. Because when I first started sparring, I was a lot younger, and now I'm starting to pick up on all these little tricks, and that's probably what he wants. He's passing it down to sort of the next generation, like passing the torch on. Maybe
in a few years that you could be Yuga versus Galal in a pro ring.
Well, that's in it. He's a very good friend of us, so we'll just take what it is. Obviously, I'll be sparring with him on a professional as well. You can't miss out on that opportunity, but he is a good friend and he's lent us a lot, so I respect him for that.
We're speaking to Demi Jade about the exposure the lower weights are getting now. People like Galal and people like Sonny Edwards as well have really boosted that over the last year or so, couple of years maybe. They seem to be getting more exposure than ever, and that can only be good for you guys.
Oh, it's great. I mean, you've got to take your hat off to them because they've went out and done it. But why not? Why shouldn't the lighter weights get lots of notice? Because there's a lot of talent in the lighter weights. But I feel like everyone just wants to see the explosiveness and the knockouts and the entertainment. But like you're saying the other week, that happens in the lower weights as well. But now, like you see, more eyes are on the lower weights. Hopefully, that drives more interest into the weight categories, and more big fights can be made.
Well, thank you very much for your time, mate. Really appreciate it, and best of luck with the events coming up, and hopefully we'll see you as an Olympian sometime soon.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much.